So for my Mumuso haul, apparently there weren't a lot of things that I could get, and I was very particular with what type of notebook that I wanted, so I decided to just get one notebook and 2 washi rolls. But this notebook, to be fair, is actually very good. The color is nice, and it's actually fabric and it's sewn in. Then there's this like area where you can put in some cards, and then it's very it's the size of my hand basically, so it's pocket sized, and it's also blank inside. I have quite a standard for blank notebooks, so this is actually good. And then I got a set of, I got some washi. This one is very plant inspired, I would say, and also this one are washi sticker flakes, so this is very interesting. I've seen a lot of these come out in stationery stores. So just to give you a clue, it's basically sticker flakes that are all bound together like this. So I think you have to take off the plastic. Yeah, let's do that later. But so for my prompt for this journal, I was thinking of doing 3 skills that I'd like to learn. These are skills that I have not explored but are definitely interested in exploring. So let's start. Now, to give you context, I actually didn't spend over $8 for this, so to be fair, I also need some pens, so I got some pens from my current stash. And obviously this is not part of the budget, but I guess I decided to just add these. I mean, generally when we talk about journaling, you may already have a stash in your house, in your workspace. Also gonna add this one, which is a washi roll that I designed. It's coffee because it's related to what I'm going to journal. So let's start off with my heading. So this pen is one of my favorites. It's called Pentel Color Pen Fine Point. Wow, so specific, so generic. I got this in a store called Goods for the Study in New York. And it's funny because the pens there, they're basically just displayed there and you get to try everything, so I just found this out of the blue. Okay, 3 skills I want to learn. Let's start off by designing the spread. I'm pretty OC, like when I cut washi tapes, I want to make sure that I don't cut any elements so they all end up being on the spread. So that way it looks very seamless. This one is actually very thick. I'll see what I can do about this, because usually this type of washi tape is meant for really big journals, so you can take up a lot of space and basically cover a good fraction of the area. But this one is very tiny, so let's also see what design they have. I am very much drawn to these types of botanical illustrations because they very much resemble the way I illustrate when it comes to plants or when I draw my travels. And as you can see with my drawing style, it's very not realistic but very sketchy, I would say. Now, if I put it like this, then I would not be able to add up a lot of stuff. So let me try just working on a technique here. I don't know if it works on this type of tape, but yeah. So I'm just gonna do like cutouts like this, and what happens is you'll be able to then leverage on the left part or the right part of the spread, and it sort of acts like a border. So I'm gonna cut it more because I am going to situate it on areas on the spread, just so it doesn't just end up in one area. So something like this, and you're basically allotting and considering the whole area of the page, not just the top part, the bottom part, or the side part. And you always want to make sure that when you look at the layout, it's very much like your eyes are drawn to specific areas, not just one area, because then that doesn't really make it very interesting and dynamic. Okay, let's see where this opens. Basically, this is very interesting because you just, okay, yeah, I just pull it out like this, and then you have the flake, but this is pink, so I don't want to add that. Let's go with the neutral colored ones. Now, when I do my spreads, I also have a specific preference for my designs, as you can see, because it's very easy to pinpoint what type of theme I am going for, and here I think that is very much accurate. And then I'm also pressing it into some of the areas where I covered the tape. That way it sort of blends well together. I also decided to add my sticker flakes because they're very apt here, because when you look at it now, it's very much earthy, and then I wanted to add some elements of the coffee just so it's just more cohesive. I designed these sticker flakes and I'm very proud of them because I made them myself, and there's nothing more like actually getting to produce your own stuff. So I used a Cricut for this and I designed them with my iPad. So I'm just gonna go for some coffee beans just to add to the layout. So usually when you see stickers, they're in a sheet, but what I decided for this was to make it in flake form, which is actually similar to this one. So when you say flake, it's basically cut out the whole way. But again, it's just a bit harder to deal with in terms of peeling off the sticker flakes, but packing it is quite easy because you get to pack it in a container and then you take it with you. So I'm just gonna add this one here, or here. Okay, here is good. There. So 3 skills I want to learn. This is a very interesting question because I am very much busy and I barely have time for myself, but I do have a lot of things I'm highly interested in, so let's get to writing it. So let me see what this ink is. So I recently got this Pilot G2 pen. It's really nice. I highly recommend it. It's just very thick, but the color payoff is really good. So let's start. The first one would be learn how to grow plants. I have some plants, but I really don't know how to water them. I mean, I only have like 5 or 6. So I'm interested to learn more about gardening in general. Now, the catch with blank notebooks like this is if you're very much reliant on lines or dots or grid, it's gonna be hard, but I don't know, I just get used to it. And I'm also not particular if it's really like linear, it's really good, like measurement wise. I mean this is a journal, so you just have to go with whatever, you know, just go with the flow. I'm not very OC with it, unlike when I do my lettering. So learn how to grow plants, brew my own coffee. This is exactly why I got the coffee stickers. Brew my own coffee. I'm curious to know more about the process of making coffee. I am a big coffee drinker and I don't actually drink coffee with milk, so I like drip coffee and also espresso, so I really want to know what the secret formula is to get the right recipe or the right taste that suits my palate. Curious to know more about the process of making coffee and how to determine my personal taste, because I just basically go to coffee shops and order an Americano or whatever they're serving, like their daily brew or whatever, but it's not very specific. So yeah. And lastly is I want to learn how to speak in Deutsch, which is German, because I lived in Berlin for 2 months and I actually know how to read some, but I don't have to talk in German because that's not my language. I only know English, Filipino, and Mandarin. So enroll in a language course and try out ways on how I can converse in German. Especially, whoops, this is wrong, when I'm in Berlin. There. So this is my spread. I actually liked the paper. The quality is really good. There's not much ink at the back, which means the paper is pretty thick. I also want to share that I like this bookmark. It's good to mark where you are currently working on. So yeah, I also picked colors that would resemble my palette. Sometimes you just get pens that you don't know if you're gonna use, something like this, but yeah, I don't think I need it, but maybe I could add like some details, like some dots, just to add like more color. And I have to sign my name here. There you go.